This is the OtterBox Defender Series Pro for the iPhone 17 Pro Max. And if you asked me a year ago what brand makes one of the safest phone cases, OtterBox probably would have been one of the first names that came to mind. But since then, I've tested more than 30 rugged cases and dropped my personal iPhone 17 Pro Max around 1,400 times. And after seeing what newer cases can do, I'm not so sure OtterBox is automatically the best choice anymore. So I put the Defender Series Pro through my usual real-world test to answer one question. Is OtterBox still the rugged case to beat? And I'll give OtterBox some credit right away. I put this case through 40 drops from everyday heights between about 2 and 7 feet, and after all of that, my iPhone 17 Pro Max survived without any new external damage. But for a case this big, simply preventing visible damage is almost expected, because this time, I also recorded the impact during every drop. So later in the video, we're going to see whether all this extra material actually reduced how hard the iPhone was hit. But first, we need to look at what all that material actually gets you. The Defender Series Pro costs around $80 at full price. And the moment you pick it up, you know this is a serious rugged case. OtterBox uses a hard polycarbonate inner structure with a softer TPE layer around the outside. Inside, there's also a soft lining against the back of the iPhone. And after testing cases like the Rhino Shield Air X, I've started paying much more attention to how the inside of a case manages impact, not just how thick the outside looks. The Defender Series Pro still takes a very traditional approach to rugged protection. The corners are thick, the camera area is heavily raised, and even the charging port gets its own cover. OtterBox also says the case uses a tri-layer protective design and is tested 7 times to the military drop standard. But as always, I care much more about how the case actually performs. And one thing you notice immediately is that installation is a process. You have to peel back the outer TPE layer, separate the inner frame, place the phone inside, and then work everything back together. Taking the case off is just as involved. So if you're someone who switches cases often, this probably isn't going to be your favorite design. But the upside is an extremely secure fit. Once everything is installed, the Defender Series Pro feels locked onto the phone. And throughout all 40 of my drops, the case never slipped off and none of the corners popped loose. The outside material is also very grippy. It's not quite as grippy as the D-brand grip case, but I never worried about the phone accidentally slipping out of my hand. The trade-off is pretty obvious though. All of this protection makes the iPhone 17 Pro Max feel like a brick. And a year ago, I probably would have assumed this was just the price you had to pay for serious protection. But after around 1,400 drops, I don't think that's true anymore. OtterBox still takes a very traditional approach. More material, bigger corners, more coverage, and more separation between the phone and whatever it hits. And clearly, there are benefits to doing that, but newer rugged cases are finding different ways to solve some of the same problems. The Rhino Shield Air X focuses more on managing impact inside the case. The Phone Rebel Gen 7 takes the lowered edge idea even further, with a screen design that can make swipe gestures feel almost like you're using the iPhone without a case. And Taurus can build a rotating stand directly into a rugged case. So protection isn't really the problem anymore. The question is, how much do you have to give up to get it? And to OtterBox's credit, the Defender Series Pro isn't completely old school here. There are a few areas where you can see OtterBox trying to reduce the usual rugged case compromises. And the front screen lip is a really good example. Instead of keeping the front lip tall all the way around, OtterBox raises it more at the top and bottom, then tapers it down along the sides. So you still get noticeable protection where the case is raised, but side swipe gestures remain surprisingly comfortable. Before doing the drops, I also ran my usual marker and white paper test, and the Defender Series Pro passed without any problems. So from a protection standpoint, that's reassuring. And during normal use, the lower side edges actually make swiping from the sides feel much better than I expected from a case this bulky. The trade-off is that you definitely notice those taller edges at the top and bottom, and compared with something like the Phone Rebel Gen 7, the Rebel still feels a little more open around the screen. But the difference isn't nearly as big as I expected. So this is actually one area where OtterBox does a good job balancing protection and usability. The rest of the everyday experience is a little bit more mixed. The volume, action, and power buttons are easy to press and have a nice audible click. But I noticed the button feel depends on how well the outer TPE layer is installed. If it's not seated correctly, the buttons can feel noticeably softer and mushier. The camera control button also works properly, but the raised ring around it is pretty noticeable against my finger, and I wish OtterBox had blended that area into the side more smoothly. At the bottom, you get a charging port cover that can help keep dirt and dust out, especially if you work outdoors or use your phone in rough environments. But personally, I'd still rather have an open port. The charging port cover and the thickness of the case also prevented me from using some USB-C accessories, such as my DJI Mic Mini receiver. So overall, the Defender Series Pro gives you a lot of protection with a few everyday compromises. And one of the biggest compromises shows up when you start using MagSafe accessories, because for a case this thick, MagSafe becomes even more important. The Defender Series Pro does support MagSafe, but the magnetic hold is weaker than I like. The magnets sit inside the hard inner layer, with the outer TPE material between them and your accessory. There's also no lower alignment magnet, so compared with some newer rugged cases I've tested, the connection just doesn't feel as secure. OtterBox also offers a holster that can clip onto a belt or bag and work as a stand, but at around $80, I'd rather have the kickstand built directly into the case. That's something companies like Taurus, ESR, and Spigen have gotten really good at. So by this point, the Defender Series Pro gives you a lot of protection-focused hardware. And there are some smart usability choices here, especially with that tapered front lip, but it still doesn't necessarily give you the best mix of features and convenience, which brings us back to the drop test. Because for a case this big, simply surviving the drop isn't enough for me anymore. The bigger question is, do all of these thick layers and reinforced corners actually reduce the impact the iPhone experiences? For this test, I did 40 drops onto the same manufactured hardwood floor inside my house. I did 10 drops from each of 4 height ranges, 2 to 3 feet, pocket height, 4 to 5 feet, and 6 to 7 feet. But this time, I added something new. During every drop, I used the iPhone's built-in accelerometer to record the impact. I then converted that reading into an estimated force in newtons. Lower is better, and the results were pretty surprising. Most of the groups had a median force in the low to mid 20 Newton range, but the 4 to 5 foot drops jumped to about 37 newtons, and the hardest single impact I recorded during all 40 drops was about 55 newtons. But here's the interesting part. The 6 to 7 foot drops actually had a lower median than the 4 to 5 foot drops. You'd expect the highest drops to always create the biggest impact, but they didn't. And that tells me height isn't the only variable. How the phone rotates, which part of the case hits first, and the landing angle can all change the result. So this first dataset gives us a useful starting point, but it also showed me that future comparisons need to be more controlled. Going forward, I'm going to standardize the drop height and landing conditions much more carefully. That way, instead of only asking, did the phone survive, we can also start asking, how much impact actually reached the phone? After all 40 drops, the Defender Series Pro never separated from the phone. My iPhone 17 Pro Max had no new external damage, and it continued working normally after the test. The Defender Series Pro also held up extremely well. There were only some light scuffs around the corners, and most of them wiped away pretty easily. So after 40 drops, the case still looked nearly new. And that's impressive because plenty of cases can protect the phone. The harder part is protecting the phone without destroying the case in the process. And in that area, the Defender Series Pro did extremely well. So, is OtterBox still the rugged case brand to beat? The Defender Series Pro still offers excellent protection. My iPhone 17 Pro Max survived all 40 drops without any new damage, and the case itself held up extremely well. It also surprised me with some smarter design choices, especially the tapered screen lip that keeps side swipes comfortable. But after testing more than 30 rugged cases, I don't think OtterBox automatically wins anymore. There are now thinner, more feature-packed cases that can also offer great protection. So if you want a traditional heavy-duty case, the Defender Series Pro is still a strong choice, but at around $80, it's no longer the obvious choice. And if you want to see what 1400 drops taught me about rugged iPhone 17 Pro Max cases, check out this video right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.